But really, this division revolves around how you project the Rays. And I think the Rays are going to be an interesting case study into how baseball is played in the coming years. You know, we've seen step one with the opener. We've seen step two a little bit in the playoffs last year, one time through the order per pitcher, getting three guys who can turn over the lineup once each. You can go through a game with three or four pitchers, but each of them are going 2.5 innings. Well, the Rays signed Chris Archer, Colin McHugh, Michael Wacha, and Rich Hill. I don't think they're going to be using those guys as complete starters. I expect the Rays and this new iteration of baseball that we're going to see a lot more 2 to 4 inning stints from pitchers. Get in, get out, turn over the lineup once, and that's it. Go to your dominant relievers. So it's really hard to project the Rays team because of that. Like, you can't just project these guys as starting pitchers. They're not going to 5 and dive and then go bullpen. They're going to mix and match them, and it's going to be really hard to play them because they have all these change-ups and breaking balls that they can mix and match against certain styles of hitters depending on where you are in the lineup. So yes, like most projection systems have the Rays about 5 wins behind the Yankees, but I think that gap is significantly closer than what the math shows just because of how they're going to play it. They also have the number 1 farm system in baseball, number 1 prospect, Wander Franco. Yep. Vidal Brujan, who is a really high hit tool. This team is going to become a little bit more offensive leaning in the future, and that future could be this year. So not only do they have the arms that can kind of amalgamate what they got out of Blake Snell, but they can also improve their offensive side a little bit and become more of a formidable team on both sides of the ball.
I'm curious. Yeah, I agree with you on the Rays, and you have to always assume that whoever they're bringing in and whoever they're trading for, they're usually going to win that trade, and you're going to see a bump in production on some of the guys they bring in, especially pitchers.
I really they torment me as a guy that plays fantasy baseball because you have starting pitchers that only go 3 innings. Colin McHugh is the most perfect 3-inning pitcher in the world because when the lineup would see him for the second time when he was an Astro, they tore him apart. He was a 4th inning, 5th inning. He would just kill your bet. So the Rays are really in a funky space where they have a lot of guys with 1 year left on their deal. We're talking Brandon Lowe, Kevin Kiermaier, the contract for Chris Archer, Michael Wacha, Rich Hill, and McHugh. They're all just 1 year. So I feel like 2022 could be that year where it's just a complete change in direction where they look to go a little bit of offense. I'm not sure this is the same Rays. I know what they're trying to do, and they're going to try to redefine baseball. But I feel like they're in transition because Wander Franco, who is the best prospect in baseball, hasn't been called up yet. He's been assigned number 5 at spring training from what I saw. So I think they're planning on him being there opening day. But sometimes, the GMs and owners get a little funky and they want to hold the service time back. So we'll see. I just feel like it's a transition year for the Rays. And so they're kind of out there for me.